feel very official.
How great are headphones?
Oh my God, I feel like a pilot.
Isn't that amazing?
I just want to have like a
I have to
sensual
go.
voice.
I have to close the door to my grandmother's room because she's being very loud and sound is picking up. But yeah.
I just used a Japanese toilet, which was delightful. It was, you know how you go to public bathrooms sometimes and the toilet's warm and you think, is this going to be the end of me? Well, not with a Japanese toilet. With a Japanese toilet, you sit down and it's warmed in the right way because it's above what an actual human butt could do. So you know that it's on purpose.
What?
The toilet. It was so warm, but in not a, you know, you go to a public bathroom toilet and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, this is warm.
Okay.
Someone just took a
You're
huge
like
dump.
someone was resting here for a very long time. And you're like, why were they resting here?
Like airport warm toilet seat is
No fun.
the worst, but that one was great.
Yeah. All right, let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to How Come. I am here with the wonderful Polly Rodriguez. She is the CEO of Unbound. Unbound is, in your words,
We're a sexual well-being company.
okay, we're going to talk about what that means this episode on How Come.
How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
All right, I'm so excited to have you here. I think I've told you this. I finally came.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! And it was with the Womanizer.
Yeah.
You say yeah because it's like
I mean,
satisfaction guaranteed.
yeah, it's, you know, their vibrators have been around for a super long time.
Yeah.
So, it's the first real innovation, I think, in terms of vibration versus suction.
Yeah.
Like it's new, and the studies like are crazy about how well it works.
Yeah, my entire life, I would always try vibrating things. Like, even if like a vibrating toothbrush would come out or like those vibrating razors, I'd be like, I'm going to try this because I was such like a horny kid. Never worked. And I was like, okay, fine. Orgasms aren't for me. But suction is just like a new frontier.
Mm-hmm.
And the second you say it to any woman, they're like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
Why would I not want that?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too, because we sell the Womanizer we don't really anymore because we make all of our own products now, but it's funny because on the other end of the spectrum, like the thing nobody teaches women at all is that your clitoris is so different woman to woman. So
totally.
we have a lot of people that write in and be like, that's way too, like, it's like turbo mode. And so it totally just depends on like where your nerve endings are.
Right.
And nobody ever tells you that.
And there's something like
It's 8,000. That
8,000?
study. It
Okay.
comes from, I met with this amazing woman named Stephanie Theobald, and she's incredible. She's a writer for The Guardian and a sex historian. And she was telling me that everyone quotes that study, that there are 8,000 nerve endings in the clitoris, but that was actually based on sheep. They cut open like a female sheep.
We're the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck a woman, fuck a sheep.
That's what all my exes used to say.
Yeah. Like, Polly, you were just like a sheep. Yeah. Bah for me, baby. So now after having purchased this, I mean, I know that not everyone's going to go out and buy such an expensive toy. Mine happened to be in like the $180 range. My Womanizer, you guys, just for the ones who can see and those who can't see, looks like an oversized lipstick. I did clean it. I have my toy cleaner right here.
Right here.
But yeah, it looks like an oversized lipstick with a little...
Which is kind of, I'm sorry, but the design of that's ridiculous. Like, because we used to sell that version of it and people would be like, this thing's fucking huge. Like, yeah, because you see it, if you don't have scale, it looks like it's like going to be like a little pocket lipstick.
If you're buying it online or something.
It's like it's like a 2.5 size bigger than a real lipstick. And it's like, why not just make it?
It's a lipstick for a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this
is for when I turn into Shrek at night.
But it does work really, really well.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I like the lipstick because the other one looked a little too futuristic for me. Yeah, kind of looks like
also,
a spaceship.
The name,
the Womanizer, we gotta do better. Yeah, it's like the douchebag. Yeah, oh great. And no, my Womanizer is no man. She is my wife. I love her.
She's great. It's funny how vibrators, like, you go through, I mean, I own more vibrators than I'd ever thought in a million years I'd own. And it's like...
describe why. Because Unbound, I mean, a lot for research and a lot just for
because I'm a freak.
Pleasure.
Yeah. So I started Unbound, not because when I was a little girl, it was what I dreamed.
Right.
It wasn't like my like childhood dream. No. It's a bit of a long story. So there's kind of like the story behind what happened, which made me want to do it. And then what Unbound is. So when I was 18 years old, I started having symptoms and ended up getting diagnosed with colon cancer. And we're gonna get heavy, guys. Got diagnosed with colon cancer, and part of my treatment plan was to go through radiation, which my doctor sat me down like, you'll never have children. And I was like 21. And I was like, yeah, cool, I've already had an abortion, like not planning on doing that anytime soon. But I didn't really realize what that meant.
Yeah.
And nobody ever told me. And so I ended up online Googling like, I'm having like hot flashes and I can't have children and chemotherapy and radiation. And that was how I found out I was going through menopause as a result of cancer treatment. Yeah. So I felt like really embarrassed and just awkward about it, because I was like,
anything where it's different from what your peers are doing at that time is incredibly embarrassing, especially, I don't know, medicine is...
Well, it's weird because it's like it's your doctor and they have a very objective role to diagnose, to figure out what your treatment plan, all that is. And they don't necessarily, they're not the person that's supposed to be like, oh, and by the way, you can't have kids, and that means that your sex drive is going to change and that your body's going to be different. And they're not, we don't have in the United States really like that kind of like safety net of social, like what in theory a social worker I guess is supposed to be, but isn't really equipped to handle. So I did what any 21-year-old do and got on Google and just like researched the shit out of like what I should do.
You didn't talk to your parents or anything?
No, I just felt, I don't know, like it, besides the fact that like it's awkward to talk to your parents about sex.
Yeah.
I had colon cancer, right? So like I had an ileostomy bag. Yeah. Which was awful. And
can't even imagine.
Oh my God, I had sex once. Oh my God. God bless my ex-boyfriend. I had sex once and the ileostomy bag just like exploded.
Bursted. Oh my God.
And I like panicked and I like ran to the bathroom and like locked the door, and I'm like sitting on the floor sobbing hysterically. And he just comes to the door and he like knocks. He's like, I still love you. Aww. It's still okay. We can just wash the sheets. And it was just like the sweetest ever. But
you're lucky to have had a person respond that way, because there are so many guys who would have lost their shit.
Yeah, literally.
Which, I mean, they're not the fun, mature ones, but...
No, he's great. He was a saint. But yeah, I went to go buy a vibrator and lubricant after going through that. And I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. And so we didn't have like cool boutiques. And so I like found a Hustler Hollywood on like the north side of the highway next to the airport. And I like drove up there in my mom's CRV, like ready to like go in there and like be an informed like person, like buy my vibrator. And I got in there and I just like panicked. Like I looked around and there's like all these mannequins and like onesie fishnet crotchless stockings. I have like my poo bag, my chemo bag on the other side. I weigh like maybe 95 pounds and I just am like sweating profusely. And I'm like, I can't do this. So I turned around and walked out, and the experience just kind of always stuck with me is like, why did it feel
so weird?
Yeah. Like, why do I, like, given that sex is something that affects everybody, and that none of us would be here without it, why does it feel so shitty to like try to figure it out? You know,
because of society,
right?
And that's that's the most annoying way to put it, but it's like we literally have America was a puritanical society. Like that's where we come from, and that's how we're informed about sex and dating. And
but we're also like a capitalistic society, 100%, right? And like the internet is built on the back of porn. So why for women is it so different? Was the thing I really realized, which was like, you know,
like, I mean, now though you see that there is an economy for it,
right? Like slowly.
But I mean, I posted about the Womanizer, and I know at least 15 girls who bought it afterwards.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing with Unbound, which like I realized like in the same way that you have brands destigmatizing lots, like even look at like weed and cannabis, right? Like it's all about just people seeing other brands or individuals making it okay and saying like, I do this too, it's fine. You just need to people are just looking for permission. And so when you post about that, women are like, oh, cool. Like I can talk about this and I can like indulge in this and it's fine. Like the number one selling vibrator of all time is the Rabbit.
Because of Sex in the City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not because it's functionally better than anything. In
No,
fact, it's actually
sucks.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's weird. You know, the only reason it looks like a rabbit is because of Japanese laws. They couldn't. So the rabbit originally was created in Japan.
Yeah.
Where they have really strict. Japan's like crazy. They have these like crazy strict laws, but it's also like the most sexually.
They're very. I mean, they have used panties in vending machines.
Yeah, it's wild. But yet a third of millennials are abstinent, like by choice, because they're so into like online, all these things. I don't know. Anyways, so Japan is where the rabbit came from, but by law they couldn't export it for whatever reason unless it looked like an animal. So if you look really closely, like you have like the part that goes internally, that's like the main like shaft,
dick,
whatever, and then you have the part that's supposed to be clitoral like stimulation externally. If you look at it really closely, like they're little rabbit ears, and it has two like eyes. And
oh yeah,
face
no, definitely
because of Japanese export laws.
Yeah, I didn't know it was because of the law,
which is creepy as fuck.
It's a little rabbit.
Like it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the same reason that like this looks like a lipstick, I guess,
but not,
too,
but like
it's
a
not
creepy lipstick. It's like I don't know. Our whole like ethos is like, why can't we make the design better on all of these products? And so much of that is because dudes are predominantly in this industry. Yeah. Like there is no real biological reason why vibrators should be phallic.
No,
70% of women need clitoral stimulation in order to orgasm. So like why are they all pink penises?
No, it makes no sense. I have an assignment every week that the guest gives to me. And this week, Melissa, who does PR for NSFW, assigned me a shock rub. Like she told me to put the shock rub in while I was using the womanizer. And for you guys who didn't hear last episode, shock rubs are a crystal dildo.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful. Mine's this little black oblong. Is it an oblong shape?
Fuck, I don't know, man. I went to public school.
I don't know. Okay. So anyway, it's like a little, but it doesn't, I mean, it's roughly the shape of a dick, but it's not a dick. It's just beautiful and smooth and kind of round and long or whatever. And I much prefer something like that than something that looks like a penis. Why do I don't, whose penis is this? I don't even, why?
We do this really fun Instagram story thing where we will just try to find the most like ridiculous sex toy on Amazon and then read the reviews out loud.
Amazing.
Because there's one that's literally a 4 foot tall dildo, like with massive veiny, and you're just like, who's craving that? I mean, no offense if you
it's
are,
not.
But it's no. Yeah, it's not about that. It's just about when you look historically at the design of not just vibrators and sex toys, so many things that we deal with every day, they were designed by dudes. And so it's like,
this here microphone looks like a dick.
Yeah. Everything's dicks. But I do think that like there's a really cool new wave of innovators and startup founders who are doing really cool shit because they're women. And there comes this point where people are just like, I'm the person that uses this and it makes no sense. Let's make something better.
Yeah. I was doing the assignment with this thing and I honestly didn't think I would enjoy it because I was like, what am I going to do? Putting a rock up my vagina.
I don't like dildos really.
Like I didn't understand it at all. And like, this is so stupid, but I didn't masturbate with it immediately, but it was in my car because I had driven home from the NSFW event.
I'm really curious where this is going.
And I literally was just like, well, you know, I'm in the car, whatever, like, yeah, I'm going to stick it up there.
Let's do it.
Why not? And so I just like did. And like, I drove all the way from my boyfriend's house in Jersey to a show I had in Long Island City with this rock in my vagina.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it didn't go all the way, and I was like, "Is this illegal?
Like
could I be endangering
were you
someone?"
Like, angled?
Yeah, I was like sitting back.
You're like rad and dirty.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know what? It's comfortable. It adjusts to your body temperature.
Really?
Yeah. And then I called my friend Betsy, who I got it with, and I was like, I just did this. She's like, you are so weird. And I was like,
were you aroused?
No, it wasn't too. I was just like, I just want to see how this works. Like,
I don't think that's the
like.
Typical use case. I don't think they're.
I used it afterwards. Like, I came home and was like, I'll do the real challenge with the womanizer. And I really liked it. I said to my boyfriend like a few weeks ago, I was like, I like when I'm like, you know, like when all the holes are covered and stuff. Yeah. And like, I didn't understand until I plugged myself up. I was like, oh my God, plugs.
Yeah.
Butt plugs. People like to be plugged.
Pressure.
Yeah, it's
It's a scientific.
It's a
That's the
thing.
thing that's so weird about all this is that like we all think. We have a lot of people that will write into us and be like, I really just love butt plugs. I love anal stimulation. Am I like weird? And the actual biological truth is no, you're not. It has to do with pressure. It's the same reason when you poops.
It feels nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not weird or unusual. It's just genuinely the way your body works.
Yeah. And people figured that out because that's how their bodies worked.
Yeah.
And so it's not weird that this like proven thing. It's like if people
it's
were
just
like,
we don't talk
it's
about
so
it.
weird that like I take amoxicillin and I stop having the flu. It's like, no, everyone does that.
Yeah. Yeah. Genuine biology.
Yeah. So your first foray to this sex toy shop though, had you already been having orgasms with your boyfriend or?
Oh my God. I started dry humping at like,
Okay.
you know what's funny? I didn't masturbate when I was young, like at all. I mean, maybe I used to like sit on my heel and like, we all hump. Like, it's just like what it is. The first orgasm I had, I think high school, my freshman year of high school, my boyfriend was like a year older than I was. And he would just like come to my basement or I go in his basement and we just like put on a movie and just like dry hump the shit out of each other.
Yes.
And I would always orgasm. And so I didn't even really realize what it was.
Oh.
But from that point forward, I just have never, I think also a lot of it is like mentality and like
100%.
I've done a decent amount of research and reading on this, and it's so fascinating that like the chemicals in the brain that are activated versus deactivated for orgasm and to stimulate orgasm for women are totally different from men. And that's based on evolution and how we reproduce and the fact that women are historically we're more defensive, right? Like we bear children, we are hyper aware of our surroundings because we're not as physically dominant as men. For women, in order to orgasm, the parts of the brain that are deactivated are those associated with anxiety, tension, just biologically speaking.
Yeah.
And so what's really fascinating is that for men with testosterone and with the parts of the brain that are activated, it's very much adrenaline glands. It's totally different. And so, and the things I've read, when women orgasm, the parts of the brain that you can't feel anxious or any of these things. And so the fact that I started having orgasms routinely when I was 13, 14 years old, I just never thought it was a big thing. And so I've never struggled with it.
Yeah.
But then I face a whole different range of issues with the fact that like I went through menopause at 21.
Right.
And what that means, which is like not easy to bring up on like a third date.
No. Wait, so how long were you with the boyfriend?
The high school boyfriend?
With the poop.
Oh, the poop one. He was, oh God, he's great. No, so I started dating him. Oh my God. He drove me to get my abortion when I was 18 years old. It was 3 days before I had to go to college. And he was just like one of those guys that was the most amazing human in the world. And we dated through college. And then I got diagnosed with cancer when I was a junior in college and he was a senior. And he like basically moved in with my family. He was amazing.
Oh my God.
I think when you go through something like that, I grew up in St. Louis and afterwards I was like, I just want to move to New York. I want to like I had an 80% chance of the cancer coming back. And I was like, I'm not ready to get married yet. I just want to like go live life.
Yeah.
Which is really hard. It was really hard.
Yeah.
Because he's amazing. He still is amazing.
Yeah. And now he lives back at home or?
No, he lives in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Became like a surfer. He's like one of those people that just like, I think I've seen him mad maybe like 3 times ever. Whereas I'm like,
I love those people, but also they scare me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what are you hiding?
Yeah. No, he's not hiding anything. He's just one of those people that genuinely never.
No, I know. It's just the way that
gets angry,
my brain works. That
Yeah.
I'm like, a happy, nice person has to be a secret psycho.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, you're great.
What
Shout
about
out
you
to
though?
What about me?
Yeah. Did you have any high school boyfriends that you were like?
So I lost my virginity. I've actually never told this story on air. So yeah, it'll be fun. I lost my virginity. I was like one of the last virgins standing in my group of friends because I grew up in the city and everyone was banging for a while. And
That must be so much pressure.
it was pressure and it was
just
like,
to grow up in New York City.
yeah, I mean, definitely. So then I was like the last virgin standing. I was like, I can't not be fucking when everyone else is. Like, this is lame. And so me and my friend, had been kind of hooking up for like a year, and I was always getting made fun of for like, I didn't do anything with a penis until I had sex with a penis.
Well, yeah,
I was like afraid
because
of
that
it.
is
So,
logic.
Yeah, and so when we'd be at we were at a house party once, and him and I were making out in the girl's parents' bedroom, and he's like, "Are you scared of dicks?" And I was like, "No, I'm not scared of dicks." He's like, "Everyone thinks you're scared of dicks." And I was like, "I'm not scared of dicks." I was like, "If you whipped it out right now, like I wouldn't be scared or whatever." And he's like, "All right." And he whips it out, and I poked it, and then I ran out of the room hysterically laughing.
That's
So
kind of amazing.
yeah. So then in my senior yearbook, my in 20 years is 2027 world champion of poker.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was my first seeing the dick. And then I was like, you know what? I just have to bang because I'm going on spring break. I'm going to want to bang someone there. I should just do it with my friend. And I called him up and I went over to his house to quote unquote watch the OC.
Oh my God, I love the OC.
Right. Marissa was already dead by that
Oh.
point, so it wasn't good. But
Wow, I'm so much older than you.
are you?
I'm 31.
All right. Whatever. I'm 28.
Oh. But wow, OC.
Yeah. So I went to watch the OC. I brought a yellow condom that we had gotten in health class together.
Oh, it's romantic.
Yeah. And we tried it on, and
Wait, you tried it on?
I mean, we,
Like together?
We tried on the sex, and it was
Oh.
way too painful for me. I like pushed him out of my body with my leg. I was like, "Get out of here!" And
It's-
then we kept trying for the rest of the summer, but we didn't tell anyone until a year because I wanted to get good at fucking before I started. Yeah,
What
I
is with
wanted
that
to like
pressure
train.
though?
It's
Like the way you
so
tell this
stupid.
story kind of breaks my heart because it's like
It's so stupid.
same situation where it's like you go like I think all people feel this way where it's just this we're going on spring break where you know like there are these like benchmarks where
Exactly.
and I cannot imagine because when I went to high school and I'm assuming when you went to high school like we didn't have we didn't have the level of hyper transparency into our lives of like Instagram
No.
and
Yeah.
Snapchat and all these like stories and people are so in tune to exactly what you're doing at every moment where it must be transparent where you are along that life cycle versus now. And like the bullying and stuff, like I just feel like it would be so hard now to go on that journey on your own and not feel like I would think the pressure would be way worse now, but I don't know.
You think it would be harder now? I don't know. I feel
But then I meet other young women, like women will come to our events and they're like so more mature than I was at their age.
right.
Because they're like, I don't care about that.
No, I think that there's pros and cons to like the way obviously social media has made people like really narcissistic and really like self-conscious at the same time and always on their phones and shit. But it's also like you're seeing way more of people, and I think it normalizes stuff that you would otherwise feel like a freak for. Like some people really like to watch other people eat, and that's a whole category on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh my God. I went to a hackathon last weekend in Sydney, Australia. And this guy made this website that basically pulls in all the tag words for porn.
Okay.
And then it would like pull in like the definition from Urban Dictionary, an image from some API from a porn website, like all these different things. And the terms, like the tags, I was just like, I don't even know what half of these mean.
Yeah.
Because there's so
There's
many
so much.
very specific interests, and it makes me feel like a prude. I'm like, I don't know what like, oh God,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
what
think
was
what
the
some of them
best
were.
one?
There's one that was like yoga, and I was like, there's a whole yoga porn thing. Like I know massage I know.
Yeah.
There's like cut, uncut, like I mean, I just it's
Tentacle porn.
Oh my God,
That's
tentacle
a big thing
porn.
now.
Oh my God, we were in the car with my other like girlfriends who have other companies and sex tech. We were trying to like one up each other on like what the weirdest thing was, and we got to tentacle porn, and I'm trying to think what the other one was, where it was just like, oh my God, like tentacle porn will like fuck you up.
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it recently, and I'm like, all right, this is a thing.
It's one of those things that cannot be unseen.
Yeah. My friend was trying to make me watch 2 Girls, 1 Cup last
Nope.
night, and I was
Nope.
like, absolutely not. Like, I've avoided it for this long. Why
you
would
haven't seen it?
No, I don't want to watch that. Why would I
No.
want to watch that? I've heard what it's about.
For the same reason people want to climb Mount Everest.
Yeah, I know.
Because
Just
it can
to
be
do
done.
Yeah, because it can be
It's
done.
but yeah, it that sticks.
Check
with
it off
you.
your bucket list. No, I watched Mr. Hands. Do you remember that one?
No.
The horse that fucks a man and then the man
What?
died like a week later. That was like the same time as 2 Girls, 1
Wait,
Cup.
I must have been on just a totally different.
It was when I was a freshman in college, so you probably seen.
Wait, what happened though?
A horse gets on his hind legs, and a man inserts the horse's penis into his butthole, and the horse fucks the man, and then like that's the end of the video. And then like you're like, yeah, that man died.
How'd he die?
From like
internal bleeding.
Internal bleeding, yeah.
Oh my, because a horse
cock
is
huge.
We went horseback riding in Australia, and my friend Mel,
and I thought about it,
who's a sexologist, like when horses pee sometimes and they're geldings,
you look.
women. I mean, then just hanging there, and I'm like, oh, you get destroyed by that.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's
God,
a really
he
wild.
Died.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was talking to this guy I'm friends with who is a photographer for National Geographic, and they did this really intense photo shoot in like off near Cuba with dolphins, and it was with these choreographed divers who were like brilliant divers, and they would do these, and dolphins are really smart mammals. This guy, like, he was like, it was so bizarre because they would learn, the whole objective of the photo shoot and the video series was that like these divers would jump in and do these choreographed dances, and the dolphins would learn them very, very quickly. And so it was really beautiful to see in the middle of this like wild ocean, these dolphins who are not trained, not like quarantined, just pick up this dance. But one of the dolphins literally fell in love with one of the divers. And so they wanted to do this. I don't even know why they thought to do this, but they wanted to do this experiment where one of the divers fell to the bottom, acted like he was drowning, and the dolphin would go in and save him.
Okay.
Just to see like how intelligent are the dolphins. But then that shit escalated, and like they would try to be doing the choreographed dances, and the dolphin would like butt in, and then he would always like have his pee now and like have a hard on, and they were like, fuck, like we can't put this in like the show. Like the dolphin's got a boner, and became like a real, it also became like a hazard because the dolphin would get like really defensive. And this guy was telling this story, and it was just like hilarious.
He's trying to rape
a poor National Geographic photographer.
Wait, he was trying to rape the photographer?
Sorry, no, the diver.
The diver.
Yeah, the guy in the water, not the photographer. Sorry. But then I got really into a deep hole on the internet because he told me the story, and I was like, is he lying? And then I found out, no.
Yeah, no, dolphins rape.
Yeah.
I just didn't know they raped people.
Yeah. There was this story in Florida of a guy, all the fucked up shit happens in Florida, but yeah, there's a guy, I think, who's in Florida who like fell in love with a dolphin, and they like have a relationship.
Well, they can have kind of consensual sex. So,
Can
okay,
they?
wait. All right, let's talk about this because I haven't talked about it yet. Have you seen The Shape of Water?
Yes.
Okay. So one of my friends, he put this Instagram story out that he was just like, if you don't see the love in Shape of Water, like you're judgmental and you're crazy. And for you guys who are living under a rock,
Get out of the rock.
Get out of the rock. I mean, I didn't love it, but
I didn't even want to see it, but then I loved it.
You did? Okay. So The Shape of Water is about a woman who is mute, and she falls in love with a half fish, half amphibian god fish man thing. That's
Sci-fi.
too many halves.
Sci-fi.
Yeah. And they fuck. And I messaged him, and I was like,
He knows it's not real. Right?
Well, yeah, no, he knows, but he was like, love is love. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, are you saying that we can fuck any consenting animal or any consenting being? Well, here's the thing. Chimps can give consent. Dolphins can give consent. Whales are emotionally more developed than we are. Like they feel more pain when they're separated from their young than we could feel in a lifetime. So what makes consent? Like, do you think interspecial fucking should be okay?
I mean, I can't claim to know what consent looks like if I am not that species.
Right.
Like there's also a guy who tried to marry his dog and was like 1,000% sure that him and his dog were in love.
There's a woman who just married a chandelier in Britain. I shit you not.
But chandelier obviously cannot provide consent.
No, it can't. So is she raping that chandelier every night? She sleeps with it.
Wait, no, okay, but I really genuinely am curious for what makes you think that. I mean, I agree that like orca whales they have like way more emotion than we do.
Yeah.
But how does a dolphin, how is a chimp actually
giving?
provide consent? Like just because they're aroused doesn't mean they want to have sex.
Definitely not. I would not go by arousal. Do not go by nonverbal cues ever.
We should create a handbook.
But yeah. Chimps can do sign language. Like that's what one of his arguments was to me. He was like, the fish can sign. They're talking. And I was like, chimps can sign. I'm hungry. I'm horny. Yes. No. Like.
Okay. So you're saying Okay, so your argument, I'm just trying to understand. Your argument is that, and I don't have an opinion on
My
this
argument
yet,
is that if
consent
you agree,
isn't enough if it's interspecial.
Oh, no. My argument is, I'm just posing the argument. Is
I don't-
interspecial fucking okay
Okay.
if consent is present?
Okay, so we got into a huge debate about this when we started Unbound, actually. Not about interspecies, but about, actually it was a gag ball.
Mm-hmm.
We got into a big debate because I was like, and I was wrong.
Okay.
I'm being big here.
Yeah, you're being a really big person.
No, but I was like, I don't want to sell gag balls. I was like, I find that just like really demeaning that you're trying to put a gag ball in a woman's mouth. Like,
Could
I
be a
just
man's
find that,
mouth, though, too.
of course, I was
Yeah.
totally wrong.
Yeah.
This was like also many years ago.
I know.
but,
I listened to early episodes of this podcast and I'm like, idiot.
Yeah.
We don't know anything.
But that's important.
I know. Growth
That's
is good.
Yeah. So I was like, I just feel like gag balls are just really offensive. And but then it's like a slippery slope, and it's kind of like and so ultimately the decision was, who are we to decide what is right and wrong
For anyone else.
for anyone?
Yeah.
The only thing that we can do is say that we have to make sure that in whatever environment it is, it's a situation where it's somebody who has the authority to make the decision, and that it's not illegal, right? Like it can't be like a kid or somebody that like genuinely isn't able to make like a fully informed adult decision.
Yeah.
And so with like the interspecies thing, I'm like, I don't know, like, because I don't know what consent looks like for a dolphin.
I know. No, I mean, I just, like, Jane Goodall lived with chimps. And I'm not saying go fuck chimps. My friend was saying at the end of it, he's like, if they say yes, you go for it or whatever.
I mean, yeah.
But there's dogs that willingly lick their owner's crotches. Like,
Yeah.
people do that. Like, I don't know. It's a really weird.
On the other end, it's like, do you really want to be that person where it's not like 1,000% clear, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I don't know if this person or animal actually wants to do this.
Well,
like,
some people in their heads, they're like, this rabbit wants me.
I mean, yeah, but I think those people are probably
I
in
actually
need of a lot.
I said rabbit because I used to have a rabbit who got so many boners around me, and I would shut him down constantly. I was like, I just don't feel that way about
no
you.
idea what a rabbit boner looks like.
Slick, slimy, red little rocket.
Oh my
so
God.
gross.
There's this company called Bad Dragon that makes every dildo possible out of both real and not real animals. So they have a dildo that's the shape of water, penis, guy. They have wolves.
Oh, so that's my boyfriend's problem with The Shape of Water, is that they don't show the fish stick.
Oh.
They have an entire movie about a woman fucking a fish, and they don't show the
I know.
dick.
Well, you can buy one. Yeah. If it was a woman, you'd see
You would
her
see
boobs
parts.
at least.
Hell yeah.
Although
I
don't know
also
what they
just
would look
think like, oh, she's never been able to cozy up to a man before because why? She's mute. Mute doesn't make
It's
you not a
not-
member of society.
It's not that. It's about her ability to relate to people. It's like, I think honestly, that's like, it's like, make the movie take place in the 50s. Women didn't have any rights then anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
and so she's like, I don't know,
It's
hanging
like you
out with the
can't-
disenfranchised
yeah, like
fish.
if that were to take place today, everyone would be like, okay, that's bullshit. You're making her seem like she's not capable of being a member of society because
yeah.
she can't speak.
Yeah.
So that's why
That's
they put it in
true.
the 50s, I think.
Yeah.
Also,
All right, good call.
Yeah, we won't talk anymore about The Shape of Water, but it's a good movie. Go see it.
Yeah. All right. I want to look at some of the things that you guys have.
Oh yeah, totally. We make products that are like fashion forward. Not fashion forward. That sounds like ridiculous, but like design
chic.
design centric. So okay, I don't know how descriptive you want me to get, but here we have like one of my favorite products. It's called O to Go, and it's got everything. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I date a lot in New York City, and as a woman,
opening the little
there's like a
pouch.
necessary like travel kit you need, and you don't want it to be like gigantic, and so this has one of everything you need.
Oh my God.
Has a bullet vibrator.
Amazing. Oh my God. Look how cute this little vibe is.
Yeah, it comes with a battery. There you go.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's like one speed. Has a bullet vibrator. It has lubricant, vegan.
Little pack.
It has, oh my God, this stuff's amazing. It's
Clitoral
called-
jolt gel.
Yeah, it's got peppermint bark in it, and so it stimulates your clit, blood flow.
It's amazing.
It's it's
Okay.
like, yeah. Bushies, they're just like personal wipes that have aloe vera and geranium so that clean your toys. It's just a better smelling,
Clean your
easier-
toys, not yourself.
Self too.
Okay, nice.
So like clean up afterwards.
Yes, always wipe after sex, or else you'll get a fucking UTI.
Yeah. And then that's this
OMG spot stim serum.
Yeah.
What is stim?
Stimulating.
Stimulating. Okay. Duh.
And then that's the same as, well, it's not the same. It's stimulating for your G-spot. And then a condom.
Unthreatening.
Right?
Yeah.
Condoms. But the whole thing costs
It's a one-stop shop.
$32. And I love this little travel guy. You can like put other stuff in it. It's like good for, like
You always need a little bag.
reusable stuff. But yeah, oh my God.
Beautiful.
Can we talk about STDs in America? It's a really Debbie Downer topic, but
It's
like
a very, necessary topic to chat about.
do you know that there's like a rancid throat gonorrhea right now?
No.
Yeah, it like it's antibiotic resistant.
See, this is why I would never go down on somebody before I fuck them.
Exactly.
It's just
It's
like
way more intimate.
It's too
Unless cover your face or I don't. Yeah, it's us. Well, because
somebody with a condom.
antibiotics have become so it's evolution, it's nature, but like now there are some STDs that are becoming antibiotic resistant, which is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that's very bad. There actually was a time in high school when everyone had chlamydia around the city. Yeah. It was like the first time there was like a big STD outbreak. And I remember one of my friends was like at the forefront being blamed for it because he was sleeping with so many girls. And he posted on Facebook his clean test of health.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We were like 15. So yeah, you can imagine the pressure of like,
that's insane.
everyone's having an STD scare and I haven't even had sex.
Like that would be awful. Mm-hmm. So like, was everyone just like, I've got it?
Yeah. And then you just had to go on meds and like wait till 2 weekends from now or something.
Did people tell their parents, or were they just like going to Planned Parenthood?
No, people told their parents.
We did not have that in St. Louis. Like we had like people just giving really bad hand jobs. That was pretty much the extent of it.
Nice.
But yeah.
Or having orgasms from humping.
Yeah, dry humping.
Yeah.
It was a thing. Yeah. We'd watch like Deep Impact, not the porn, the
love
movie.
Deep Impact.
Right.
Oh my God. I was thinking about that. I love apocalypse movies.
Same.
Yeah.
They're the best.
All
What's
right.
your favorite apocalyptic movie? And then we'll move on to
Honestly,
the sex story.
it's Deep Impact.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause it's so random and like nobody else, like that big
Is Elijah?
wave.
Who's in it? Who's the guy?
I don't remember.
Is it Elijah? No, it's not Elijah.
I can't.
Is it Elijah Wood?
It might be. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I was
Anyways.
thinking about it the other day and I was like, I loved that movie. I should rewatch it.
I literally.
Armageddon is good too.
Oh God, the soundtrack to Armageddon alone.
Perfect. What's your fave?
Apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
Ooh. As a kid, I really loved this movie. They remade it, which kind of ruined it. But it was like where the boat turns upside down. It was like in the 80s.
Titanic. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I did love Titanic though. I love Planet of the Apes, the original. It's like a pop, because it's like
You're just getting us right back into our
right.
discussion.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's like insane that
I don't fucks with the Planet of the Apes.
okay.
All right, show me more things.
Okay, more things,
This,
more things.
A plume.
Plume. It's just a feather, like tickler. I think one of the things that's really interesting is with BDSM, people are really into sensation play. So like trying to think about sex outside of just like P and the V.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what is sensory? What is touch? What is like delicate touch versus like people are really into the polar opposite of that, which is like constraint.
Yeah. I've been reading this book. I'm sure you know of it. She Comes First.
Yes.
And it talks about little different senses and stuff, especially because guys always think it's pound, 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 and I'm going to abuse that pussy or whatever. And it's like, no, sometimes we like light touching, and like a tickle is nice.
Yeah.
Like you get the shivers. That's literally like a little fraction of an orgasm.
Yeah.
So like, why not try those stimulants as well? Show me more toys.
Okay. Well, here's one more. It's a vibrator. This one's actually my all-time favorite. It's called Squish. So
It's so cute.
it looks like a giant makeup blender, but the harder you squeeze it, the harder it vibrates. So
Oh my God, that's amazing.
yeah, it's one of the things we found is that, whoa, you can hear it.
Wow.
But generally it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
But it's it's supposed to be not intimidating. The tip is kind of like, it looks like a beauty blender, but it's got like a really like if you want to use the actual tip of it for clitoral stimulation. And then it's also programmable so that if you like a certain pattern, it will remember it. So you could go
cool.
if I change the mode here, it'll go, if you squeeze, you can like lock it in and then it will repeat it on its own.
So if you turn it on at the beginning of like a session or something, and then keep using it for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. And then you're like, that was amazing. Save. It'll save that for you.
Not like that. It's more so like if there's a specific pattern that you
Okay.
want, it will
Okay.
repeat it and remember it. But the thing that we found was that like when you're aroused, like there were all at the time there were all these vibrators that are coming out that like had apps and stuff, and
Having somebody control it.
yeah, which is cool for long distance couples. But to me, it was like the last thing I want to do when I'm masturbating is like be like, hey, or having sex with someone. It's like,
Yeah.
hang on a second, let me roll.
get
over
my
and
phone.
phone. And so it was kind
I
of
have all these emails. Now we're not fucking anymore.
yeah, but it was like this allows you to just adjust it based on touch,
Okay, cool.
which I think is cool. So I love that one.
Yeah,
That's
I
my-
like that too because sometimes you're banging and like you don't necessarily want to hear the buzzing all the time until it's necessary. And with the womanizer, you have to hold it down for like 4 seconds and wait, and then it's like, oh, it's back on. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
kind of takes you out of the moment.
Yeah, I think I was at the Sex Tech Hackathon, and so much of what the people were coming up with had to do with like how it's weird to break the moment. Like even putting on a condom, like
Yeah.
how do you make that less awkward? Because it's
We all have to take burlesque classes. The art of like making everything sexy,
yeah.
you know?
But I don't know if you can ever make that sexy.
Rip it
Maybe,
open
yeah.
with
I
it.
get
No, because
yeah.
then you rip the condom.
But it was interesting. There's this one team that was like making. They made a condom that had like texture on one side, so that you could tell whenever you opened it what side was like
Yeah.
facing up versus facing
Yeah.
down. And when they presented, I was like, oh my god, how has no one done this
Yeah.
yet?
Because
when you're in
there's
the
that
dark
awkward
and you're like, I don't know if I'm
10,
doing
15
this right.
seconds that you're like, is it in? Is it out? Flip it in. Okay, try it on this way. Oh, okay, we got to roll it the other way.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a really good. Yeah, there's going to be more and more innovation. I mean, but
There,
like,
I mean, I think there are a lot of really interesting companies. The thing I find most interesting is I'll go to panels or do interviews, and people are always like, "What about the sex robots and the VR?" And it's
Sure.
like that stuff's all really cool.
Yeah.
but I think fundamentally the thing that we have to really innovate for is like the stigma.
right? Yeah, there was a sex robot at the. I went to a sex party the
Oh, you-
last
nice.
episode. Yeah, and Melissa, who came on the podcast, was like, "Yeah, I've carried those girls all around the house and stuff," and I was like. God, who cleans them? I'm
Yeah.
like, that must be such a dirty job, especially at a party. Like, it's not even just your personal doll. It's like many people.
And also like talking about consent, like I mean that's like all the movies where it's like at what point, what was the movie that was so good? Not Her.
I loved her though.
Yeah, it was good, but there was the other one where the sex robot like breaks free. It's with Oscar.
all I can
Isaac.
think of is
Ex Machina.
Westworld. Oh,
Ex
okay,
Machina.
okay.
She's like a sex robot, and she's like, "Fuck this shit," and she like breaks free.
Yeah. So, what point do they become sentient and have human rights
Or
as well?
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like I don't like my friend Miles like that's gonna become a whole fetish on porn.
Well, there's
Cleaning this sex robots. She said,
Oh.
which I think is pretty brilliant.
Yeah. Oh no. So there's already in Japan there's sex dolls coming out that have different personalities, and one of the personalities I just read about this is Frigid Farah. She's a doll that does not want to fuck you, and it simulates rape essentially.
Nice.
Do you like? I'm very on both sides of the fence with this. That I'm like, okay, I guess that's good because it's people putting what they want to do on a device that isn't a person and can't feel it, and like getting rage out without hurting an actual human being. But it's the same. Then on the other side, it's like the video game argument of like, if you have a kid play Grand Theft Auto, or is he eventually going to want a gun
Yeah, I mean,
and like, you know, try to rape the real thing or something?
I don't know. I think we all have dark thoughts, and maybe that's because I'm dark and cynical. But like,
I think we all have dark thoughts.
I actually think rape's a pretty more common than we would like to admit fantasy for a lot of people.
Definitely.
And so I think it's far better. Like my personal belief is it's far better to destigmatize things and talk about them and bring them out from like being relegated in the shadows than to like keep them there. There's a really interesting study. The Economist did an article on this, just quoting, just name dropping a publication so you guys think I'm smart. But it was about pedophilia in the UK, and they had a hotline for pedophiles that they could call so that they wouldn't act out and actually like abduct a kid or act upon a kid. And the study showed that it was like
Beneficial?
insanely effective.
Okay.
But
Because I was talking about,
but the public found out about it, and they were like, we can't have this. This is saying that pedophilia is okay. And it's like, to me, it's like, it's not about whether or not it's right or wrong. It's about like, ultimately, if we can make more open channels that aren't hurting people, prevent people from getting hurt, like, why wouldn't we want to do that?
Right. I was talking on a really early episode about how there's fake kiddie porn that they make now, like, like computer simulated or whatever. And my friends and I have talked about it a few times where it's like, well, it's a slippery slope. Like, then you're creating a market for it. But it's like, yeah, you're creating a market for that. But if that can keep actual kids safe, and
it's hard.
It's a really sticky.
It's not, I think ultimately the thing that's so interesting, especially about American culture, is we want things to be like right or wrong.
Right.
And we live in the gray.
Black and white. Yeah. And we live in 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, show me more things.
Okay, more things. Okay, this isn't even, we haven't come out with yet, but on the note of 50 Shades of Grey, one side is like a paddle. That's like, let's see if we can hear
like a little leather. Nice.
And then the other side is like a tassel, but it's made out of silicone, so the texture is really like fun instead of being like cloth.
Oh, that's
it's silicone.
awesome. So like the end of like a throw pillow, but with silicone.
Yeah, so it's like more like the texture is really, really fun.
That's really cool.
So we're coming out within like, I think 2 weeks it goes live. But we just saw like so much interest in like BDSM stuff that isn't as intimidating as like some of these. When I first got into this industry, there was like under the bed restraint kit, and we would like order samples of everything to see like what is like cool, like what are people interested in, and like it's like a fucking IKEA set. I was like, I can't figure out how to set this up.
That's a big commitment.
Also, there's nothing less sexy than being like, really want to like get into some BSM, just give me like 28 minutes to set this up.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to literally like lift up the mattress, like put it in, and it was just like, isn't there something that's like a little more like,
that's not for a beginner,
dip your toe in the water. Yeah. We have lube. Lube's
the best.
I feel like literally an old woman just being like, everybody needs lube.
Yeah.
But I just love lube. I think it's amazing.
No, I think it's great too. I actually had a really adorable moment in Babeland once. I was buying like a little thing of lube, and then this gay guy after me was buying a little thing of lube, and they let me buy my thing, and then the girl behind the counter goes to him, you think you want a little more? Like it's only like $2 for the huge one. He goes, oh yeah, you know me so well, and then buys this like massive lube, and I was like, oh, I love Babeland.
Oh my
God, the conversation here.
Yeah. I wish we all lived in like Babeland.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one more.
Yes.
Like this I find really interesting because this is another thing that 50 Shades of Grey made really popular.
Bennies?
So Bennies.
Oh, beignet balls.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't even know anything about it until I got into this industry. So these are just pure glass, like nothing toxic, whatever. But like I didn't even know what Kegels like were really, nor that they could be sexual. And to be honest, I've never read 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh
but
my God.
We got all these people that would write in about Benoit
balls. That's how
balls.
I know about them. Or Benoit balls. I said beignet balls, like you can eat them in New Orleans.
Oh, beignet. That would have been an even better name for them.
Yeah, powdered sugar. Benoit balls, not beignet balls.
I want a beignet so bad right now. That's all I can think about. But yeah, okay, true story. I got a Kegel, like something. It had silicone on it and it had like a handle, and I read the instructions, and it was like, yeah, you can put it in, like you can watch TV, go to the gym, run errands. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try, because we try everything before we sell it.
Yeah.
And I put it in, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to like walk to the gym. I made it a half block, and I was wearing Lululemon pants, and I had a fucking Kegel ball hanging out of my butt, and it looked like
because you didn't realize you had to keep it
like,
up there.
Also, I had I just physically could not.
Yeah,
because I hadn't
those are
squeezed
little
enough. Yeah, but this thing was like massive, and it was the summer, and I had Lululemon pants on, and it literally looked like I had shit my pants, and I had to walk like 2 blocks before I could find a Starbucks to go into the bathroom to like pull it out. But meanwhile, I'm just like walking with what looks like a turd in my Lululemon.
Yeah, see, they don't even like. I read all the 50 Shades of Grey despite knowing that it was
garbage.
Shit. Yeah, I mean it's shit. But they don't even explain why she puts the Benoit balls in. They
What's
just
the
say
scene?
That she does. I know this too well. He buys her a dress to go to a ball, a masked ball, and he's like, put this dress on and then put these inside your pussy. And she's
really?
like, yeah. And so then she's like, okay. And she's like, and then I ate yogurt, my favorite meal, because I'm anorexic. Yeah. And then they go to the ball, and he's like, all right, now I'll take him out and we can bang.
Oh, that's kind of, but it's that whole power dynamic.
Yeah, and that she's had him in all day, and she hasn't seen him, and it was exciting. It's an exciting book, despite the terrible grammar, and yeah.
But that's the thing, like, we're so deprived for that arousal, especially
Yeah.
as women, where it's
Yeah.
like anticipation. Like it's just so like the books are obviously written by a woman.
Yeah.
Because she gets like anticipation and not the like bang bang bang. That,
I literally, so I was on a show today on Sirius with like a bunch of men of a certain age, and we were talking about the podcast, and one of them was like, oh, like after we stopped recording, he said, oh, congratulations, like, you know, the only thing is with women and orgasms, he's like, they never end, and like they waste so much time on sex like before the sex. And I'm like, what do you mean waste so much time? Like that's the part that we consider the sex, like that's the part that's gonna get us there. Like
Yeah.
you're not understanding.
that's like being like, I hate when you go to a meal and you got to eat everything before they give
Yeah.
you the mint at the end.
Yeah, I
And
hate
it's
that.
Like, it's like, what?
Yeah.
You missed the whole point.
Yeah. So that I was like, oh,
Did you say that to him?
yeah, I did.
What did you say?
He's like, no, I don't know. It's too much. And I was like, if you can't take 20 minutes out of your day to have sex, like you need to reevaluate your life.
Yeah. God.
It shouldn't be 2 minutes.
But you know, that's not about that at all. It's really about like he probably has no idea what he's doing in
Exactly.
bed and feels like a fool for those
That's what
20
I've
minutes and
noticed.
doesn't want to be vulnerable
Yeah.
for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Is that people who don't say they don't want to, I don't want to do that. It's because they're not comfortable
necessarily
know how.
Yeah. And the thing is, none of it, like with sex, none of us know what the fuck we're doing.
No.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Because one, everybody's different, and two, because like you don't know until you try stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think the thing with men sometimes is just like, well, I don't do that because I don't like it, and it's like, no, you don't do that because like you're not comfortable with being able to say like, I don't really know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. And I think women, and I'm making really big generalizations about like gender, but I think generally women every day are faced with situations where like we don't know what we're doing and we get way more comfortable with that of like being just vulnerable. That yeah bullshit. Yeah. So anyways,
Ooh, this is the big thing. So since I came, I can take assignments, but I don't think I need to do it every week. If you had an assignment for listeners who aren't coming, what would that be?
oh, I think so. I want to speak to all the women. Okay, two things. One, find some porn that you actually really enjoy and don't feel guilty about watching it. I highly recommend Erica Lust.
Okay.
So good. Like,
She's a porn star, or is that
no,
a website? Or?
she's
okay.
so Erica Lust makes pornography, and
Okay.
it's like what 70s porn was supposed to be. Like it's like it's like actually good plot lines, like good acting, like the cinematography is legit. Like
Awesome.
Erica Lust is amazing. So check her out and watch some porn that actually turns you on. And then the other thing I would just recommend is like try masturbating with lube.
Yeah.
Like it just really like will
Do
change things. Because I think sometimes if you're like not in the mood or you're not ready for it, you kind of are like, okay, I'm gonna like, I don't know. For me personally, I like think about masturbating the way sometimes I think about going to the gym, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it just because like I know that when I get off, it's gonna feel really good.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to get started, and I think lube jumpstarts that a little bit. So I
Definitely.
would say challenges like,
Well, there's nothing unsexier than feeling like a bone dry
yeah,
vagina.
yeah.
You're just
Tell-
like, oh, what is this?
Yeah. Like I think lube's the best thing in the world, and I don't understand why it has such a stigma, because it's like to me
I
the
think
equivalent of like,
Yeah.
like if you could go down a water side with some water and be like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Or you could go down it with like a shit ton of water and be like, oh my fucking God, this is the best ever. Like,
Actually, I've used lube on like slip and slides before. It makes things so much better.
that's my dream. This
Yeah.
summer, I actually told the whole team that I want to make a giant slip and slide in Central Park
Amazing.
and just cover it in lube.
Yeah. It's
The
amazing.
viscosity.
It's amazing.
It's science, guys.
slip and slide.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I also had Alex and I were talking about this before, because I was like, Alex, you should just get a womanizer, and if some woman comes over and like she just can't come, like use it on her if you
Yeah.
like her enough. Do you think that he was like, that's disgusting, and people would think I'm such a creep?
I think it depends
you
on
had
like how comfortable you are with
cleaner-
that person.
Yeah.
Like you have to be like,
But
you have
could you
to,
use it on multiple people?
yeah. Okay. So like we talked about this before I started recording, but like I'm not weird about that stuff.
Yeah.
But like we have tons of people who write in who are like, I had to throw away all my vibrators and sex toys when I broke up with my boyfriend because I couldn't use them anymore. Not even because like of the like sanitary issue, because of like the emotional issue.
Yeah, totally.
So people
It's
have
just like you have to
it's like,
throw out
it's
that
a very
t-shirt that's very comfortable, but it reminds you of him.
yeah, it's a very polarizing thing. But I think I wouldn't say do that. I would say be courteous and cautious to do that on like
Yeah.
The first time
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you don't want to be like, be like, whoa, did you
Yeah.
just like have that
No, I was,
charging
I
this
was
whole
like,
time?
oh, save it for the one.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
like, I have something for you. Yeah, I think on that note, we can close it up. We've talked about a great number of things. I love all your products. I think you guys should all go to Unbound. Maybe we'll do a discount code or something.
Yeah,
for
we
the
definitely
pod.
should.
But I'll post it on the Instagram. Is there anything coming up where people can see, where they can follow you on social media?
Yeah, you can follow us on social media at Unbound Babes is our handle. Emily, who runs our Instagram, is
Amazing.
like literally the funniest person in the world.
Yeah, I save all of your posts.
Oh
I'm
my
like, I'll
god,
post
she's
these in
so
6
funny.
months.
I can't handle it. But yeah, we're launching new products in about like 2 weeks.
Awesome.
So you can get your
Benoit balls.
Benoit.
Maybe there will be a New
Benny's-
Orleans
oh my god,
version.
yeah, I
the
love
beignet
that.
ball.
The beignet balls. But thanks for having me. This has been so much fun.
Oh my God. Thank you for being here. And I just have to ask this at the end of every episode to be courteous. Did you finish?
Oh yeah, I finished.
Good.
It was
I
great.
finished too.
Good.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow us on Instagram at How Come Podcast, on Twitter too. And try and send us in questions. We will answer them. And yeah, we'll see you next. Oh, that's another exciting thing I was going to say. Since I don't have to do assignments every week, this podcast now, we're not just going to be twice a month. It's going to be weekly.
Amazing.
So expect more guests and more fun. And I'll still try and ask the guest assignment for you guys. And I'll do them sometimes if I want to too. But I've already masturbated with Lube. So you guys do it this week. And we'll see you next time on How Come. Bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I've still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz